Hi, everybody. This is Nancy from the team at Community Homeworks in Kalamazoo. Thank you for tuning in to another story about the people we meet and the impact of our work. Since 2009, Community Homeworks has been working hard to help homeowners stay safely in their homes by providing critical home repairs to income-eligible people. We also offer home maintenance classes and even lend tools so we can cultivate basic skills as we build relationships across neighborhoods. This podcast, called Being Right at Home, will include stories of empowerment, stories of hope, stories of what can happen when people work together. In the words of T.S. Eliot, home is where one starts from. So let's begin. Okay, everybody, I am back in the studio today with a fan favorite who is the heart and soul of our team. Some of you met our Zack last September when he was a guest then, and because he is so full of energy and passion and stories and new information, I invited him back so we could hear some updates and all that is happening in our critical home repair program. So I'm just going to keep it simple this month. The fun fact of the month is simply this: Zack is back. Oh, wow. Wow, Zack, good job.
Thank you for that introduction, Nancy. It's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to Being Right at Home. So, wow. Well, I got to just ask you, how are you?
We're doing great. Summer's moving along. We're preparing for this upcoming fall and winter and then next year, and we're in a really good spot right now. Things are going great.
Good. I got to ask more about that. Regarding critical home repairs, we're going to kind of stick to that today, and I just wanted to congratulate you on your new title between last year and now. You are officially our critical home repair program manager. Is that correct?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. That's a big promotion, and I know you have a lot on your plate every single day. So let's talk about what changes you've noticed in the past year. Maybe I'm going to just leave it at that. One of the things, let me remind you of this, when I asked you how we should prepare for this, you said, let's just wing it. So I looked that up. What does winging it mean? And and it actually means that we are going to have a conversation that relies on instinct, creativity, and spot thinking. That's what Google says. So we're just doing that today. So tell me about critical home repairs and what you feel you've noticed are some changes between last September and this September.
Firstly, I can't remember if back in last September when we last did this, if the home repair program was countywide, but we may have just been getting that kind of launch when before in years past, we were very exclusive to the city of Kalamazoo, and even more for a short time period where we were only allowed to serve like 6 neighborhoods in the city of Kalamazoo. But now, thanks to our wonderful leadership and fund development teams, we are very much Kalamazoo County-wide now, and we're all over the place. We're down in Vicksburg, we're out in Cooper, Oshtemo, Galesburg.
Township, right?
Township. Kalamazoo Township's a big one right now, and that includes areas, the Eastwood, there's some Kalamazoo Township on the north side, there's Township on the west side of town, so we're all over the place in Kalamazoo Township. Kind of the other thing that I tend to notice, like day to day, I think we talked about it last time, Nancy. The housing stock in Kalamazoo and Kalamazoo County is old, and it's aging every year. Last year, I think the average age of the actual structure we worked on was around 98 years old, and year by year they get older, right? And I think as a part of being countywide and an aging housing stock, and people, especially homeowners' wallets are tighter than ever. Harsh economic conditions. I think like all of those things in a blender, kind of like we've seen quite the increase in demand. So that's kind of a little bit of a snapshot of what it's been like in the home repair side for the last little while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The other thing I think I've noticed is we've got a bigger team,
Yes.
critical home repair internal team than we've ever had.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's awesome. They're rolling. That construction team, I mean, they're an unstoppable force right now. They are just banging things out left and right. Like, it's incredible. They are just a well-oiled machine back there. I mean, I feel like it's weekly. Like they're completing 5 projects a week almost every day. And that's probably not a truly accurate number, but it sure feels like that sometimes.
But they're just, that's, yeah. So remind our listeners, Zach, that when somebody comes for our service of critical home repairs, the first thing they do is ask if they're eligible.
Right.
But is it true that especially with your new job title, do you still see them right off the get-go, and do you see them at the tail end of the project?
Yeah, and all throughout, for the most part. Mostly me and my team, Kristen, I want to give a shout out to. We interface with the homeowners a lot. From that initial intake, we kind of like pre-qualify you. We don't want our application's like 8 pages long. We don't want someone filling that out if they're not going to qualify for the program. So we do like a pre-screening. Oh, okay, it sounds like based on what you just told me over a 5-minute conversation, you would qualify. We put you through the application. After that, we get you ready for the kind of construction side, and then we're there with you at closeout. So yeah, that's kind of what the case management support team kind of does.
Okay. And do you go to those grand finales, so to speak, where the homeowner signs off and says, I'm good with what you did and I'm happy? And
Yes. Yeah.
So you get to know them well.
Yeah, and just by just working with them throughout the process, we talked about this last time, Nancy, and I'm not trying to like just rehash the same conversation, but Community Homeworks, we're a social service, right? We're a nonprofit. All our programs are no fees, right? Home repairs, no fees. And for social services, like I can't think of too many other spots in town where like people actually allow you to come into their home. Right. And I think that's what makes us unique. And there has to be a certain degree of trust, like at my house, Nancy, I don't know about you. I just don't let anyone in my house. Right. So like there has to kind of be that trust, from the get-go kind of thing.
But I want to give you guys a little bit more credit than even that, because what I've noticed and heard is that you do develop trust, but that means getting to know the homeowner. And that also means observing things about that homeowner that has nothing to do with our work. And so let me give you an example and see if you can. I heard that in some houses there's rodents out of control. That's not in our wheelhouse in terms of, but when something like that would happen, where would you guys take it? Rather than just say, sorry, we can't.
Yeah, it's totally not like good luck with that and we just leave, we do have some funding, and I want to kind of like I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth on this, but we do have some funding to help in those instances. It is kind of limited, a lot of our we have a quite diverse funding pool. Basically, we have grants from local foundations, philanthropists, local municipalities, the federal government, and they all say what we can and cannot do with the money. So there are some grant funders that say, no, you can't do that with the grant dollars, right? We do have some limited that can help with like rodents or pests, and if there's instances where we can do that, we do that. There are some instances where it would prevent us from safely being able to do the work. So those are instances where we then do like whatever the pest rodent remediation is and then do the job. And if there are instances that unfortunately like we don't have like the grant dollars that would allow for us to take care of that problem, we're all very well trained on where can they get those services in town, and we partner with those other organizations, other organization, if you can help with this problem, we want to come in and do some electrical work afterwards, for example. So
yeah, which sometimes extends to non-home repair issues, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I kind of hear when we have our mission moments at our staff meetings, which means that we really try to live our mission every single day. And our mission is to empower our neighbors to maintain their safe, stable, and sustainable homes for generations. to do that, our mission moments, are those be almost above and beyond the call of duty. So if what I've noticed is the workers, and I get so proud when our stories come out, notice that the homeowner might be low on food supplies. That instead of just saying, "Well, good luck," if it's noticed, then there's usually something that's done. Is that correct?
I I want to give a lot of that credit to what you're saying, Nancy. Yes, I am there at the first time we go to the home, and I'm there at the last time we go to home. But we have an amazing construction team that's there the entire time. They spend whole work weeks. That's their office is the actual home.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think that speaks really to the team that we have. I mean, we all have a bunch of big throbbing hearts, and they can't not see that and do something about it. So if there's ever an instance like that, and I think there was one recently, they're not gonna leave that homeowner, well, hope you find a meal tomorrow, have a good day kind of thing. No, they the one instance you're talking about, they literally went to the grocery store and bought this senior homeowner living independently groceries, and I think they're having lunch with her today. And
yeah, that's what builds trust, I think. And they're not doing it I don't know, just because. They're doing it because they really want to. I mean, it's kind of like you said, that big throbbing heart of theirs. So yeah, it's just the heart and soul of our mission, I think, is lived within those homes. So
but I do think that what you said is a good example of that. If we're working with a household and they need a new furnace, we do them a furnace, but we notice their roof's leaking. It's never like, good luck with that. It's like we are especially the case management team, we're all pretty trained up on what other services are available in town. Where else can we connect you or plug you in with? We really try to offer that wraparound support for those types of instances. You know what I mean? Whether it be a roof or you need some groceries kind of thing,
And I know we're good at also then collaborating with other agencies that do similar but different types of things so that you can make those appropriate referrals. So I know you all go out of your way to just to get to know what service providers are out there and what their criteria is. So that's very cool too. And in fact, on that note, Zach, I just want to thank you for handling National Night Out, which was held in early August, because you got people just all over to come out and tell us a little bit about what you did.
It was very much an organization thing. National Night Out, I think the general idea of it was that it's about connecting local law enforcement with the community that they serve. Where it's a nationwide event, so it happens it happened in California and Pennsylvania, Michigan. And in the city, all the neighborhoods have their own little. It's kind of like a block party, you know what I mean? Where everyone shows up. There's usually music. There's usually food, law enforcement hanging out. I don't know. Hanging out with the neighborhood children. They raffle off bikes at one of them. We had ice cream at ours. It's just supposed to kind of help bridge that gap. We're all one community here. Let's just kind of hang out for a night and have a good time,
And because we're located in the Edison neighborhood and there was no plans for one, it was, again, this team at Community Homeworks that said, let's do it. Let's just do it. So thank you, Zack, for that. I appreciate that. I'm sure
really thank my team. The whole team.
It
was a Community Homeworks thing, not a Zack thing,
Yeah, well, it was, yeah. But that's just, again, above and beyond the call of duty, and because our hearts are into our work, I guess. So, yeah. So, last year, I think we talked a lot about plumbing issues, electrical issues, furnace issues. Do you think those trends continue? Are you noticing anything different about the types of requests coming in?
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think a couple days ago it was 90 some degrees. We are not focused on furnaces right now. So very much what type of work we do is kind of seasonal dependent. Right now, We do receive a lot of calls right now for like exterior, like kind of porches, steps, handrails, grab bars, that sort of thing. But like all throughout the year, we plumbing leaks, plumbing work, that's number one, and that's probably gonna be number one for a long time. You know, that type of work isn't so weather dependent. You know, your plumbing system doesn't. Well, in some instances, it does care if it's wintertime, but like if you got a plumbing leak, it's not gonna just shut off because the weather is nice, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, we still see a lot of plumbing, quite a bit of electrical. This past winter, I mean, from like last October to like we'll call it April, I'm pretty sure we did close to like 40 furnace jobs. You know, it was quite a bit, and I'm anticipating this winter it's gonna have that shift. You know, we're gonna shift from the porches to, you know, kind of furnaces and water heaters.
And tell our listeners what usually happens in October when we all go to those thermostats and say, "Oh God, it's so cold in here. I got to turn on my furnace."
Yeah.
So
And we have like I'm not just making this up. We have years of data of this, right? Like every October, we measure how many calls we get, and October each calendar year is the number one month that we receive the most calls. And it's basically the exact scenario that you just said, Nancy. You know, we leave that kind of like nice fall weather where you don't really have the furnace going. You can leave the windows open to that like first like 45-degree night, and everyone goes to the thermostat, turns it on. Shoot, my furnace isn't turning out. What do I do?
a certain percentage that nothing's going to happen.
And that happens basically all October, you know?
Okay, so this we're airing this in September, and so next month the phones will be ringing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, there we go. Wow. Any other stories you have, Zach, that have meant something personally to you, that you did something and you as a team, and you just look back on it now and say, "Wow, that." I mean, are there some of those that just resonate with you?
Yeah, I got one. No identifiers, you know, this is just a
Right.
homeowner, right? This homeowner, they would reach out to us every year, apply for the program, and they needed the work, you know, and we could never serve them because we didn't have the funding to do so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, due to efforts on their end and due to efforts on our diverse funding, we were finally able to make it work. I felt that, like, you know, this homeowner had been reaching out to us for 3 or 4 years. Like, we can't just like fix up their steps and just say, have a nice day. You know, like I felt that like we can put our creative hats on here and intertwine our funding and let's see what we can do. And we ended up, their front door is about 5 feet off the ground. It's not like you just open it and there's ground right there, right? They had a massive front porch and stairs that if you looked at these steps wrong, they were going to tip over on you. Like they were by far, I mean, I've seen hundreds of front entries, and this was by far the worst one I had ever seen. And
Meaning walking on it was a hazard.
no, you weren't allowed to walk on it. Like if you pulled up to the house, they would come out the front door and say, I'll meet you around back. Do not go up those front steps.
Wow.
And so we were able to get that taken care of for them. They needed new back steps. We got that taken care of for them. And like while we're out there working, you know, multiple site visits, we noticed their roof is just like the front steps on the verge of just caving in. And there was a national fund. It's not like federally funded, but it's a nationwide program. The Revive grant.
Mm-hmm.
Like they needed a new roof bad, and like that roof had been up there for probably 40 or 50 years, and I like I'm not a roof expert, but I don't think it was gonna make another winter, you know. So like we got them signed up for that program, and in order to do a new roof, their chimney on top of their house was crumbling, and like for kind of like less efficient older school like furnaces and water heaters, they vent out your chimney, right?
Right.
So you had to have the chimney. Well, that chimney needed to go, you know, like the chimney itself was a safety issue. That thing, you looked at it wrong and it was gonna tip over and you're gonna have bricks falling off the roof. So we partnered with another program, Consumers Energy, and they were able to get them high efficiency like furnace and water heater. So like we could like abandon the chimney, like no longer required. They vent the newer mechanicals, furnaces and water heaters. They vent out the side of the house. You know, it's a piece of PVC that. So like it no longer needed the chimney. We knocked the chimney over and then they got a new roof. So
Wow. Wow. And in the nick of time, it sounds like for this homeowner. So, I mean, with all those dangerous, wow. Wow. How long did that take us? Do you have any idea? Or was it?
Like 3 or 4 years, but like all this happened relatively once we kind of put our strategy together, what's the plan of attack here? It came together since the last 3 or 4 months,
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Just the steps yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what a game changer, life changer for that homeowner. The other thing I wanted to ask about is other things within the organization that you're involved in.
Like outside of the home repair program
Yeah.
that I'm involved in. Well, we talked about the input advisory group last year when we sat down. That's still going.
Is it?
We do that every single year.
Good.
This year has kind of been fun because like Community Homeworks this year now has 3 core programs. One before we would like try to solicit feedback on how can we improve the home repair and education program. Well, the tool library is just as important. And so that is being incorporated into
The discussions with the
this episode I think is airing in September. Our next input meeting is the 2nd or 3rd week of September, and for this one, the tool library program manager, Rachel McCartney, is going to be co-leading that meeting with me. So we're going to try to make it kind of focused on that a little bit, I think. So
excellent.
yeah, they just had their grand opening in June. It's been awesome to see that come alive. So
And the membership is, which people can learn about by just going to our website. People can become members, which we would love. We're well over 100 now, and growing every single month. So it's an awesome program. But
Hey.
I'm glad that you're incorporating that into your input advisory group. But even the concept of bringing our participants back to give us feedback so we can be better at what we do and more efficient, I think, again, just speaks to how important it is for all of us to feel like we're doing the best job we can. So
this year with the input group, we're also kind of taking a new approach to it. Where like in years past, like we kind of had like a curriculum, you know what I mean? Like at the first meeting, we talk about this and get feedback, but like we've talked about that stuff already. So like the idea with this year's input advisory group is like live time. What is Community Homeworks working on that is going to impact the community that we are directly serving? Let's take those ideas that we're working on like currently and take it to the group. So like, for example, like we're considering a policy about the types of water heaters that we're installing in houses. So before like we did anything with that, we took it to the input group and kind of explained what the policy was. What's your feedback on that? So that's kind of the other approach that we're taking this year with the input group is like, what are we working? What is Community Homeworks? It can be me in the home repair program. It could be Chris, what's he working on as an executive director? It could be Nancy, whatever you're working on in fund development. Like what are you working on in live time that you're thinking about that you would like feedback on?
Oh, great. Yeah, I love that. I just love that. So, and I love the fact that the participants almost become part of us, or vice versa. We just become one big team. So
there are several former members of the input group that I think are now serving on our programming subcommittee that like, I think the next like organic natural stop on that progression is like possibly board of directors, so like it's really awesome to see.
That is very cool. Any questions you have for us or thoughts about us or anything you want our listeners to know that we haven't covered this year?
I do want to say that this past winter, it was the winter of
24, 25.
Exactly. We got quite backed up. We serve households on a case by case situation. We try to stick to like first come first serve kind of thing, but sometimes like if you're a household in the middle of winter and you don't have heat, well, we're not going to kick you to the back of the line. We have to triage things based on needs, right? So this past winter, we did get a little backed up, and we made this strategic decision to pause taking applications for I think the spring and a little bit of summer. And starting in August, we are reopening for all applications. Our list, we got completely cleaned up. We are completely caught up, and we're looking forward to serving homeowners much faster than ever before. So if anyone listening to this may need some critical home repairs, please just call us. We would love to work with you.
Okay. Thank you, Zach. And I think that speaks to the fact the word is getting out, and it's a countywide word that's getting out, and the demand for what we do is growing. So I'm glad our team is growing. I'm glad our areas of expertise is growing. Our wraparound services are growing. Yeah, and you're a huge part of that. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Leave it at that. We will have Zach back again, I promise.
I'll see everyone at the beginning of season 3, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Nancy.
Well, that's it for this time, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Between now and next month, we will continue to be in our community, making a difference. But before signing off, I want to ask for your help. Please consider supporting us with a donation of any size. You can easily do this by visiting our website, communityhomeworks.org. Your help will allow us to empower more families as we build a stronger community, one home at a time. So until next month, please take care of yourself and each other. From our team to you, bye-bye for now.